Welcome in, one and all, to the High Noon stream here on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. This is the first of two streams that I, Pugs Moran, do for you each and every day. This one we call it High Noon because, well, it comes on, guess what, at high noon, Central Standard Time every Monday through Friday. Second one we double back around 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, the only time zone I recognize. We come back at 9 p.m., and that's Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. It's a bit more conversational. This one here, this show, this is all about topics, headlines, current events, anything that's going on in the world that people are talking about. I try to give it to you in a nice little bite-sized nugget so that you feel comfortable moving about your day, not feeling like you're in a bubble or in a fog and don't know what everybody in the world is buzzing about. That's what High Noon is about. It's topics, topics, topics. Try not to be divisive, although sometimes it's unavoidable. We don't like to do politics. I don't do politics. I hate politics. We don't do any nonsense that we're all sort of. We don't do anything that you're gonna hear on any kind of current modern radio talk show. Won't do it. That stuff is not what I'm interested in. All right, so let's get started here. First of all, let's see who we got. We've got Ola. Al's here. My boy Will is here. April is here. Who else do we have? Let's see here. Oh, slow build today. That's okay. We'll wait. There's Dustin. That's who we were waiting for. Look at him. All right, let's begin. Where's Byron? Byron is typically the first guy in who always likes to accuse me of being a minute or two late. You owe me a minute. Where's Byron? Hi, Jeff. Jeff's here. Oh man, okay. I only feel truly confident in what I'm about to do here when I see certain consistent folk. I worry about you. When Leslie disappeared for, a week or so, I was sincerely concerned. We are friends. We share something here. We get together every day. Yeah, we're not in the same room. I don't know what you guys look like. But it's, this is a community that we are creating here at High Noon every day. And it's not lost on me that any number of you could just drop dead and I wouldn't know anything about it. You just drop dead. And you know what? Here's what I want everybody to do. I want everybody who joins the chat room, who hangs out with us, I want you today at some point, write a little note. I want the note to be pinned to your refrigerator. And I want the note to say, in the event that I die, please at some point go into the High Noon chat room and tell everybody that I'm dead. That's it. That's all what I want you to do. Can you do that? Is that asking too much? April? I know April will do it. Jeff, will you do that? Because I don't want to be wondering, oh my God, I thought we had a connection and now suddenly they hate my guts and they won't come by anymore. I need to know if you're dead. All right. Thanks, Will. Yeah. If I'm not in a show for more than 2 days, it means I'm dead. You people, it is a concern. I'm like 20% crazy. When things, I remember laying in bed going, is Leslie dead? Leslie better not be dead. She better not be dead. And I don't know about it. I would, look, I wasn't married to that idea, but it did cross my crazy, 20% crazy. I told you, 20%. Did Leslie also, did Leslie get abducted by aliens? Did Leslie run off with Bigfoot? I mean, there were all kinds, because I'm 20% crazy. But I do get concerned when people are missing. Do we still not see Byron? See, Byron's dead. Byron's dead. I think that's the conclusion that we can all draw right now. Jeff's here. Todd Arthur. Hi, Todd. You guys, anybody want to say anything nice about Byron now that we're all completely convinced that Byron has passed on? I'll wait. Leslie's here. Okay. Ross is here. There we go. Check it in. Just at the very least, you don't have to participate in the chat room throughout the course of the show, but just check in. Check in if you're somebody who has in the past. Check in. Just say, I'm here. I'm alive. I'm just busy. You know what? I don't think that's too much to ask for. I don't think. Well, thank you, Al. This show is my mental fix too. All right, let's get into what we have today. Let's run through all the stories. I have to be completely honest with you up front. Today is NFL draft day, and it was a tough go with the trends. It's, I mean, every football team in the NFL is trending individually. Who are they going to pick? Because all the fans are flooding the social medias of the individual teams, and it's crazy. It's crazy. So I had to go deep on a bunch of stuff, but I think I found some good stuff for us to discuss. First of all, it is the 27th day of the year. 27th day of the. Calm down. I got up extra early today because it's Landscaper Day, and on Landscaper Day, the landscaper is just a fancy rich person way of saying that people come and mow the lawn, right? I mean, that's landscapers are coming. Oh, you mean the dudes who mow the lawn? Yeah, okay. So it's mow the lawn day, and that means that I have to wake up extra early. I'm not complaining. I'm fine with it. That means I have to wake up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning and let the dog out in the yard for like an hour so that she can get an hour out. She's like in prison today so that she can go out in the yard and roam around and get all of her business done. Because then she gets locked in because, she likes to kill people who come into the yard. So I have had 2 pots of coffee. I am a little bit frazzled. I was pushing a little hard to find subjects for us to talk about here. So let's just get into it. Oh, also, 27th day of the month, end of the month. If you guys can tip, please tip. Come on. We're about $100 short now. $100 short. We were that's such great progress. We were like $300 short 2 days ago. And then a bunch of you guys came in and you tipped me. Tip me like your bartender. Tip me like your barista. That's how this show runs. We supply 2 shows a day, 4 or 5 days a week. And I appreciate it. Okay, thank you. No more of that. Let's move on. It is the 27th day of the month. April the 27th, year of our Lord, 2022. It's the 118th day of the year, 118 days down, 247 days remain until the end of the year. So as I like to say, get those New Year's Eve plans. You got a date for New Year's Eve yet? You better line that up because we are 247 days away from that becoming, you're the loser loner on New Year's Eve. What is today? First thing we do, we will get into all the day's topics, but here on the show, we like to give you what today is all about by checking in on the national calendar. Let's see, what day are we supposed to be celebrating today? And then we go through some history and some birthdays, and then we get into the topics. Let's see, it's National Teach Your Children to Save Day. Good luck with that. My kid does not. So my kid gets money. He spends money. Yeah, there's no saving. And I know that there are some. I hear about other parents with kids. He's got a piggy bank. He's already got this much money. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? Why does my kid gets $100? He tries to spend $105. I mean, that's just, he doesn't account for taxes. Like we went shopping over the weekend and I had to buy a bunch of cleaning products like paper towels and soap and all that stuff, and I had to get some aspirin, some ibuprofen. So that means Dollar Tree. That means we go to the Dollar Tree for all of the cheapest stuff. And whenever we go to a Dollar Tree, I always say, all right, you got $10, you can get 10 items. So you can get like 10 things, right? Used to be able to get 10 things at the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree used to be $1. Actually, he used to be able to get 9 things at the Dollar Tree, and then the rest would, be taxed. The last dollar would be used up in tax. He doesn't deal with taxes. He doesn't. If we're at a place called the Dollar Store and he can get 10 things, he is getting 10 things. He doesn't recognize the 25-cent price increase at Dollar Tree stores. He doesn't care about that. He's sticking to our original union contract that we made months ago, where he gets 10 things, and then he doesn't consider taxes. And not only does he not consider taxes, my 12-year-old son will argue about the fairness of taxes as it applies to him in the Dollar Tree store. He does not believe that he should be responsible for the taxes. So it may be National Teach Your Children to Save Day, but that ain't working with my kid. It's National Take Your Daughters and Sons to Work Day. Why is this one day? Didn't this used to be like take your daughter to work day? And then like, a month later it would be take your sons to work day. Apparently they have combined them. Oh, they've done the old Lincoln, Washington birthday combo thing. Remember, Lincoln's birthday used to be like a holiday and Washington's birthday used to be a holiday. And then they combined them and now they just call it President's Day. It's National Blueberry Pie Day. Oh man, I like pie. I'm a big fan of pie. How could you tell? I like pie. I like pie more than cake. If it came down to you could only have one of these delicious things for the rest of your life, I would go with pie. And I'll tell you, pie draft. No, we're not doing a pie draft. Although coconut cream would be my first round pick. And then like a chocolate silk would be second. And that look at me. I'm doing a pie draft. I'm doing an impromptu pie draft. Blueberry pie would make my pie draft. It would. It would make the first 5 rounds. It might eke in at 5. It would certainly strawberry pie would be third. Okay, look at me. I'm doing a pie draft. All right, pie draft. Coconut cream, French silk chocolate, banana cream. Then we'll go. We gotta go. So strawberry. Oh, I love a good strawberry pie. Strawberry, blueberry. There you go. Pie draft complete. It's National Blueberry Pie Day. It's National Bravehearts Day. I don't know what this is. What is Bravehearts Day? Oh, wait a second. Did I say it was the 27th day? Hold on. Oh, did I do that thing again? I said it was April 27th, didn't I? Oh, no, we're good. Okay. I thought I did the wrong day. All right. I didn't. We're good. All right. Did you guys, anybody correct me in the chat room? Did anybody say, hey, earlier you said it's the 27th day of April? Cherry pie. That is such a solid one. Cherry pie might come in 6, Stephen. Cherry pie might come in 6. It is definitely the 28th day. I'm sorry if I confused you there. I noticed that I had written it down, and then I'm looking at the day calendar, and I'm like, I don't think that's what I said. And then I panicked. I thought, oh my God, did I do all the birthdays in world history for the wrong day again like I did last time? Oh, that sucked last time. I had to free ball it. That was not fun. Okay, let's see here. Hold on. It is also, I don't know what National Bravehearts Day is. Let's see what that is. The 28th day of April is National Bravehearts Day. Let's investigate. It's probably going to be something really sad. Each year on April 28th, we celebrate National Bravehearts Day to honor the bravery of families dealing with pediatric cancer. Okay. Yeah, well, good. You know what? Let's man, I'll tell you, but for the grace of God, right? I'll tell you. There ain't nothing. Moving on. It's National Great Poetry Reading Day. Do you read poetry? No, you don't. No, you don't. That question was more rhetorical than people don't read poetry. Actually, it's funny because my son writes a lot of poetry. But he calls them rap lyrics. So, maybe poetry, maybe rap. I think rap has brought poetry back. We just don't call it poetry. Poetry was too fruity. Now we call it, in the lab with a pen and a pad, that kind of thing. I don't know what we call it. But it's National Poetry Reading Day. So, you know what you can do? You know what poetry is? Poetry is song lyrics. Poetry is hip hop lyrics. Just go ahead, read some of those. That's how you can do it. If you don't want to read like Frost or you don't get into all that stuff, you just read some Ice Cube, read some Dr. Dre, read some Kanye, read some Springsteen. He's my favorite poet. Anyway, National Superhero Day is also today, and it's Workers' Memorial Day. That sounds communist. That sounds like a communist day. Yeah. All right, let's get into what's happening here. Let's see. Should we get into all of the cool things or sad things or tragic things or monumental things or memorial things, memorialized things? Let's just get into what happened on this day in history. On this day in history in 1881, Billy the Kid escapes the Lincoln County Jail in Mesilla, New Mexico. Billy the Kid. All right. On this day in 1945, as covered yesterday, we covered the capture of that fool, Benito Mussolini. Today, on this day in 1945, Benito Mussolini and his mistress, Clara Petacci, are shot dead by Walter Audizio, a member of the Italian resistance movement. Let's focus on Clara Petacci, who was Mussolini's mistress. I bet she was a real bitch. I bet you that, like, when she was, I bet with her friends, well, Benito says, I bet she was just insufferable. So, normally I'd be like, well, what'd they kill the mistress for? But I bet she was a pain in the ass to a lot of people. So there you go. On this day in 1967, during the Vietnam War, boxer Muhammad Ali refused his induction into the United States Army and is subsequently stripped of his championship and his license to fight. What was his quote? Yellow man ain't done nothing to me. Something like that. Did he say something like that? Wasn't that his quote? He didn't want to go kill Vietnamese people because they ain't done nothing to him. A rather selfish notion, but, look, I don't believe in the draft. So, I think that's a little... Okay, moving on. On this day in 1973, The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd is recorded in the Abbey Road studios. It goes to number 1 on the Billboard chart, beginning a record-breaking 741-week chart run. Dark Side of the Moon is an album that I had always heard about and I had never listened to, although I guess, just through, living a life, I had heard a number of the songs on Dark Side of the Moon. And then, at some point in the 90s, do you remember that thing? Do you remember the Dark Side of Oz? Remember that phenomenon? We used to have these parties in college, Dark Side of Oz parties, where you would put the Wizard of Oz in the VCR. This was back in the days of the VCR. You put the Wizard of Oz in the VCR, and then you would put Dark Side of the Moon on. And you would start the VCR for, here's how you do it. You would start the VCR first, okay? And then when the Metro Goldwyn Mayer lion came on, he does that at the beginning of all those old movies, the lion in the circle. After the second roar, boom, hit play on the CD player, right? And that syncs it up. And, the story is that they sync up pretty cool. You got to have the sound down, of course, on The Wizard of Oz, because the sound is coming from Dark Side of the Moon, and you're watching The Wizard of Oz, and folks, I am not kidding you. It's pretty crazy. I mean, a lot of people say oh, you gotta take mushrooms, or you gotta be on acid, and then or you gotta be really high or whatever. No, you really don't. And you know how I know this? Because I did it with my kid. I did it with my kid when he was 10 years old. And it's totally sober. It works. It's really cool. The songs, they melt. The songs actually begin to describe what the hell you're seeing in the movie. And it's so accurate and so trippy that at some point, now you got to do it right. Because even if you're off by a second, if you're off by a second, it'll probably still work to some degree. But you gotta be really synced up properly. It's so much so that people have said over the years, rumors abound, that they actually wrote Dark Side of the Moon to Wizard of Oz. They were watching Wizard of Oz and they were syncing it up themselves. And people say that it was them. It's not, this is not just some great coincidence. It is very cool. I'll tell you the coolest part. There's a lot of cool parts, but the part that always makes everybody in the room go, oh man, is when Dorothy is in the tornado and her house is going around. And I think the music that's playing on Dark Side of the Moon is perfect for that. It's like wind swirling in the music, and the house is swirling on the TV, and then the house crashes down in Oz. And Dorothy she's in black and white, right? Remember the movie, it switches from black and white to color. Dorothy's in black and white. And then she gets out of her bed and she walks to the front door and she opens the front door. And the minute she opens the front door, everything is in color because now she's in Oz. Dude, when Dorothy opens the front door, that's where the cash register rings in Money. You know the song Money? Ching, boom, 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 boom. Money, the song Money. Right when she opens the door and it's color, you hear the cha-ching. It's like, whoa, no way. That blew people away. Jeff Glenn says Dark Side of Oz is available in its entirety on YouTube. Is it really? Should we stop down and check out just even for that scene? Adam says, I happen to believe that Wizard of Oz was made by a Time Lord and made the movie to sync up with the album. Okay. All right. Very cool. Let's explore that, Adam. I love it. Let's see, Animals. The song before Money is The Great Gig in the Sky. Yeah, Great Gig in the Sky. And House of Spit. Jeff. All right. You know what we're gonna do? I just want to show that one scene because it is such a cool sync up. All right. Oz. All right. We will not be monetizing this show on YouTube again. All right. Hold on. Let me see how this works. Here it is. Oh, yeah. All right. Here we go. So this is exactly the scene I was just describing. Thank you, Jeff. I guess I didn't realize it was fully on YouTube. Okay. So here we go. All right. There's that. There you see Dorothy. And so this is right. Just as the house lands in Oz, the tracks switch on the album. So there's like no sound in between the couple of tracks. And this is what we get. Here you go. Dark Side of Oz. Whoa! Whoa! Are you kidding me? Oh, come on, man! Now, maybe it does help if you're high, but it still works sober. She's in this magical land. Tell me this music doesn't fit perfect. This could be the video. All right, that's enough. That's great. Man, that is awesome. Come on. Coincidence? I don't know. Whose birthday is it? Where's Byron? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, Byron. All right, listen to the poker. Happy birthday. Is it Byron's birthday? Happy birthday, Byron. Happy birthday, brother. I hope you win at poker. All right, that's enough. You know what? I mean, YouTube hates this show. YouTube like strips us from all the sponsors and all that because, we do stuff like what we just did. We should just do it. That should be a live stream we should do. We should do a live stream. We should get a group of people. Here's who we'll get for the live stream. We'll get me, Parker. We'll do this during Pillow Talk. We'll do me, Parker. We'll bring in Kelly, maybe Schwartz, and we'll all just watch Dark Side of Oz on YouTube. That might be fun. That might be funny. I think that could be really funny. And it doesn't matter. We could get like a quadrillion people watching that, and YouTube will, just black it out. You don't have the rights to either Wizard of Oz so then how did people make that video and put it up on YouTube? I don't understand. I don't understand how it all works. All I know is that every day I get letters from YouTube that says, you're a bad YouTube creator. You keep stealing other people's stuff. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Well, you know what, stupid YouTube? This show runs on tips. This show runs on the kindness of the listeners who enjoy it. So I'm just going to keep on keeping on. I'm just going to keep doing what I do. I don't need your help. I really need their help. But, whatever. Man, I can't allow that to screw with the integrity of my creative vision oh God, I know, just. All right, so on this day in 1973, Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd was recorded. On this day in 1988 near Maui, Hawaii, oh, who's this? Mr. Popular. Longmont, Colorado. You should be listening to my show. All right, there, I just hung up on him. Don't call back. Hold on, no, I got to turn that down. I'm calling back whoever that was. In 1988, near Maui, Hawaii, flight attendant Clarabelle C.B. Lansing is blown out of Aloha Airlines Flight 243, a Boeing 737, and falls to her death when part of the plane's fuselage rips open in mid-flight. There's got to be a bunch of terrible ways to die. That's got to be one of them, right? Terrible ways to die draft. Okay, 1, fist fight with a polar bear. 2, being blown out of an airplane in mid-flight. And I'll tell you, let me get into this one. Here's why this one sucks. She didn't die hitting the ground. There's no way that she survived. When she got ripped out of the plane, there's no way that she went out clean. You know what I mean? Like there was the plane ripped away. There were sharp edges and all that stuff. And she either banged her head and was dead from like a massive concussion or head wound or whatever, or she was just tore up so bad that she probably girly wigged down to the ground, like flipping around with blood coming. Oh, that's a bad way to die. 3rd worst to die, being half eaten by a shark. Like half eaten, not fully eaten, because fully eaten, you're dead. But half eaten, you might just be like in the water. Like the shark is full. Like if a shark's going to eat me, I want the entire shark to eat me. 4th worst way to die, house fire. Oh, man, being trapped in a no thank you. No thank you. 5th worst way to die, a long, slow, drawn-out illness. Ugh. There you go. Those are your worst way to die draft, brought to you by the High Noon Show. Fist fight with a polar bear, being sucked out of an airplane. What was the other one? House fire. Oh, no, half eaten by a shark, house fire, long, prolonged illness. Let's see here. 2004, on this day, CBS News released evidence of the Abu Ghraib torture and prisoner abuse. The photographs show rape and abuse from the American troops over Iraqi detainees. That was on this 2004, 16, 17, 18 years ago. Okay, 18 years ago. Let's talk about some birthdays. Born on this day in 1916. Born on this day in 1916, Ferruccio Lamborghini, Italian businessman. Of course, he created the Ferruccio. Born on this day in 1937, Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein, Iraqi general and politician, 5th president of Iraq. He died in 2006. Born on this day in 1941, Anne Margaret. Anne Margaret, born on this day in 1941, Swedish-American actress, singer, and dancer. Now, let's take a moment to talk about Anne Margaret. So if you were hanging out with us during the Pillow Talk show last night, Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk. You know that when the show ended, I was going into the other room and I was going to sit and I was going to watch the new Marilyn Monroe documentary on Netflix. Marilyn Monroe, How She Really Died. Okay, first things first. I can't really recommend it. I mean, the last 5 minutes, they're like, okay, we don't know anything that we didn't know before. Nothing. There's no hypothesis. There's no new interesting angles. There's a lot of, here's where it's interesting. It's interesting that they seem to have a whole lot of audio tape of Marilyn. Like you get to hear her in her own words. So last night I'm watching this and I tweeted something, a hot take alert. I tweeted that Marilyn Monroe was at best a 7. I mean, I'm watching her and I'm like, yeah, she's attractive, but she's not like the most. I mean, there were a lot of really attractive women in Hollywood in the 1950s. Marilyn Monroe was one of them, to be sure. But I mean, there were some 10s. There were some unrivaled 10s that were, lurking around in the 1950s, early 1960s when Marilyn Monroe was considered the most beautiful woman on the planet. I don't know. Yeah, you got your Audrey Hepburn, far more beautiful than Marilyn Monroe. Sophia Loren, far more beautiful than Marilyn Monroe. And then you go back earlier, you got Rita Hayworth, Ava Gardner, far more beautiful than Marilyn Monroe. And might I offer, Anne Margaret. Anne Margaret was way prettier than Marilyn Monroe. Way prettier. Happy birthday, Anne Margaret. Born on this day in 1941 and still alive. Also, Marilyn Monroe was born in 1926. So I was she died at 36 years old. She was born in 1926. So I was interested. I was like, if she had lived, could she still be alive? Like could Marilyn Monroe still, like, could there be like a 90 something year old, 90, what would she be, 96-year-old Marilyn Monroe walking around? And so I went to the year 1926 to see if anybody born in 1926 was still alive. And yeah, there's a lot of famous people who were born at the same time. Most notably, the Queen of England. The Queen of England and Marilyn Monroe are the same age. Mel Brooks and Marilyn Monroe are the same age. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So there you go. Fun fact for you. Also, born on this day in 1950, Jay Leno, American comedian, talk show host, and producer Jay Leno. Born on this day in 1953. This one shocked me. Because of the year. This person is 10 years older than I would have guessed. Born on this day in 1953, Kim Gordon. Kim Gordon of Sonic Youth. Kim Gordon, one of the great early 90s, late 80s, one of the originators of the alt-rock music genre. Kim Gordon was born in 1953. Kim Gordon's like 70. Kim Gordon's like, I don't know, what would that be? She'd be 69. Kim Gordon is 60. Oh my God. I mean, I remember Kim Gordon so that means that, like, when I was first looking at Kim Gordon, she had to have been in her mid 30s when I thought she was in her early 20s. Happy birthday, Kim Gordon. Kim Gordon of, we'll see. Kim Gordon, never heard of her. That's all right. That's fine. Kim Gordon is a boomer. How about that, Adam Reyna? She is a solid boomer. Born in 1953. Born in 1966. Yesterday we talked about who was it who died yesterday that I said was an absolute train wreck. George Jones. Remember, George Jones is the inaugural winner of the High Noon Train Wreck of the Day award. George Jones, it's not debatable. The dude was a train wreck. The dude was a great singer and he has a wonderful career, but off the stage, even on the stage, he was a train wreck. But, his private life, just a total train wreck. John Daly, American golfer. He's another train wreck. John, oddly enough, John Daly is a train wreck, but he might not be the train wreck of the day. We all know about golfer John Daly. He's got a lot of issues. He's done a lot of ridiculous things that probably hampered his success in the golf tour. Whatever. John Daly, happy birthday to you. Smoke a pack of cigarettes and drink a case of beer, John. It's your birthday. Enjoy it. You've made it. You've lived through. 1972, Violent J was born. Violent J of the Insane Clown Posse. Those people. Oh my God, what are they called? Juggalos. Born on this day in 1974. We talked about Marilyn Monroe. Here's another overrated beauty. I mean, look at me. I mean, if Penelope Cruz wanted to date me, of course, I'd be like, she's the best looking girl I've ever dated. But like, there were times like that. Penelope Cruz is the most beautiful woman in the world. I mean, she looks like a bird. She looks like a bird to me. She's like, I mean, she looks like a beautiful bird, but she's not. No. Like Penelope Cruz and Salma Hayek are like best friends. And whenever I see them together, I'm like, it's not even close. Salma Hayek is like gorgeous. Salma Hayek is a 10. Penelope Cruz looks like a bird. I don't even know how to rate that. She's the hottest bird I've ever seen, but she's pretty, I guess. 1981. Here's another. This one. She's a 10. Here's another 10. You ready for another 10 for you? All right. Here's another 10. Born on this day in 1981. What is she celebrating? What is she? So 81, 8, 20, 40, 42. She's 41. She's 41. I do not accept that Jessica Alba is 41 years old. Jessica Alba is 41 years old. Wow. Oh, is Jessica Alba adorable? Jessica Alba, like, okay, so we talked about Anne Margaret and Salma Hayek. So like Anne Margaret and Salma Hayek are 10s. They're just gorgeous 10s, but they're like super sex bomb 10s, you know? They're like sex symbol 10s, right? Jessica Alba, she is a 10, but Jessica Alba is like the prettiest girl in your high school 10. You know, it's like a different. She's like a different category. She's like, she's this beautiful woman and all that, and she seems to have a really good business mind because she's made a lot of money doing stuff that you didn't think a Jessica Alba would be able to do. But she was just on a stupid TV show for like 6 months, 25 years ago, right? I mean, she's not had this big career, but Jessica Alba has shown staying power. I'm a big fan of Jessica Alba. Every time I see her in an interview, I'm like, isn't she just darling? She is just darling. Happy birthday, Jessica Alba. Some deaths. This is where we commemorate the passing of great human beings and sometimes not so great human beings. Dead on this day in 1993, Jim Valvano, North Carolina State basketball coach, sportscaster, died of cancer. Long battle with cancer, a very highly publicized battle with cancer. If you were old enough to remember Jimmy V's battle, back in the late 80s, early 90s. He died on this day in 1993. Jim Valvano seemed like a really cool guy. Really cool guy. I mean, I'm sure that there's probably he was a basketball coach, so there's probably some crappy things you can find out about him. But all in all, Jimmy V, still regarded as one of the great men of Generation X sports. Jimmy V died in 1993. God, it's such a long time ago. I remember when he died. It was a big deal. That was like a big deal for like us, like meathead sports guys. Dead on this day in 2006. Now, this is why I said that on may not train wreck of the day. I don't know. We'll have to think about this. If this individual had died, well, maybe he did. Okay. Dead on this day, Steve Howe, American baseball player. Do you remember Steve Howe? Steve Howe was a really talented pitcher. And Yankees, Dodger, really talented pitcher. Loved the cocaine. Was a raging alcoholic. Probably, people say that he had one of the best pitch arsenals. Just an incredibly talented pitcher. Steve Howe was suspended 7 times from Major League Baseball because he just couldn't quit cocaine. He kept popping hot for cocaine, which is so ridiculous because cocaine only stays in your system for 24 to 48 hours. If you can't pass a drug test with cocaine, you've got a real problem. You really can't stop. And you care more about the cocaine than you do about passing your drug test because anybody can pass a drug test if they've done cocaine. It metabolizes in your system as fast as anything can. It's completely untraceable after 24 to 48 hours, depending on the metabolism of the individual. Steve Howe was suspended 7 times from Major League Baseball. They kept letting him back in, and then finally he was suspended for life. He was just incorrigible. He was deemed incorrigible by Major League Baseball, and he died on this day in 2006 in a car accident. And, that's why I said, look, if he had died doing the stuff that, made him a train wreck in baseball, then he would certainly be train wreck of the day. However, he died in a car wreck. And so that made me think maybe, that's a tragedy that can happen to any of us. That shouldn't really go into his train wreck resume. But then it turns out his system was loaded with methamphetamine. So maybe that's it. Maybe Steve Howe, train wreck of the day. Died on this day in 2006. Died on this day in 2019. This was a shocker. This was a real shocker. And every time I see something, his production company is still cranking stuff out. So I see his name on a lot of shows that I watch, most notably Snowfall. I love the show Snowfall. And every time at the end of Snowfall, it's an executive producer. They still have it up there. John Singleton, film director. Most notably Boys in the Hood, right? Wasn't that like his big breakthrough? But his television show that he's created, he started making in 2016 or so. Snowfall is so good. Snowfall is such a great show. I wish more people watched Snowfall. It is done so well. John Singleton dropped dead of a heart attack on this day in 2019. One of the great directors of film, one of the great creators of story of this era in Hollywood, just dropped dead so young. 2019. How old was he? He was and he wasn't like he wasn't like someone you'd look at and go, oh, that dude's gonna drop dead of a heart attack. He wasn't. He was healthy. He looked like he was 51 years old. John Singleton died at 51 years old, just dropped dead of a heart attack. You know, am I right on that? Was it a heart attack? I thought it was, but a lot of people just drop dead of a heart attack. So maybe, okay. On April 17th, 2019, Singleton suffered a stroke and was placed under intensive care. He reportedly began to experience weakness in his legs after returning to the United States from a trip to Costa Rica. On April 25th, it was reported that he was in a coma, but his daughter stated otherwise. On April 28th, Singleton was removed from life support, and he died at the age of 51. Dozens of actors and musicians paid tribute to him. American rapper and actor Ice Cube, who worked with Singleton in Boys in the Hood and Higher Learning, said, "There are no words to express how sad I am to lose my brother, friend, and mentor. He loved to bring the Black experience to the world." Cuba Gooding Jr., who was given his first major role by Singleton in Boys in the Hood, paid tribute to his late friend by singing "One More Day" from Les Miserables, a favorite song of Singleton, at his funeral. The official cause of death was acute ischemic stroke, intracerebral hemorrhage, and hypertension. Okay, so it wasn't a heart attack. It was a stroke. Still tragic. On this day in 2021, 1 year ago today, one of the big three astronauts, that's right, one of the big three, Michael Collins passed away. Why is Michael Collins one of the big three? Because Michael Collins was an Apollo 11 astronaut, and you can rank all the astronauts you want, but the astronauts who went to the moon, they're the ones that are the most important. Now, I know technically Michael Collins had the shit job. Michael Collins had to stay in the capsule. Michael Collins' job was to maintain the capsule in orbit around the moon while Buzz and Neil went down to the lunar surface. And that kind of sucks for Michael Collins because he didn't get to go on. But still, doesn't matter. It was a team effort. Michael Collins was one of the most important astronauts in the history of American space exploration. Michael Collins died on this day in 2021. So there you go. All right, those are your deaths, your births, and your historic events on this day, the 28th day of April, year of our Lord 2022. Let's get into the trending topics. Let's talk about what's trending. 33 billion. 33 billion is trending. Why is 33 billion trending? President Biden will ask Congress for another 33 billion to help Ukraine fend off the Russian invasion, two administration officials said earlier today. The proposal would be more than double the initial 13.6 billion package that Congress enacted last month. It feels like just a couple of days ago I was talking about where are they getting all this money from? They asked for more money like a couple of days ago. Also trending, Oklahoma. Oklahoma is always trending for either tornadoes, meth, putting someone to death, or something like this. The Oklahoma House has passed a ban on abortions after 6 weeks. So if you're pregnant in Oklahoma, you better, and you want to. I hate this topic. I really hate this topic. Here's what I think about this topic as far as the state level goes. Vote. If you live in a state where the majority of people, it's a democracy. If you live in a state where the majority of people support these kind of things, then either get involved or move to a state that doesn't. I mean, I really, should it be federalized? Well, it has been federalized for the past, since 1972, was that Roe versus Wade? It has been federalized that a woman has a right to choose. But a lot of people have a problem with it. And just because you may not have a problem with it doesn't invalidate the concerns of the people who do have a problem with it. I don't know, man. I look at the states that are doing this stuff and I'm like, ugh, I don't like it. But again, as I always say on this subject now, in my evolved state as a grown-ass man, I'm not a woman. This to me really is a woman's health issue. So the women of America really need to decide where we're going on this. There needs to be a majority, and there can't be, because the women don't agree on it. The women do not agree. And whatever, Oklahoma, that's I hate these stories. I really do. I mean, if I was pressed into action, I would say, well, I think it's a woman's health issue and that women should be able to make the choice, because I know that if it's a guy thing, like if there was something that could happen to a guy, I'd be like, yeah, I'd want to choose. But again, I don't know, it's such an ugly issue. It is such an ugly issue. Nobody, and here's the other thing, nobody is pro abortion. I mean, nobody is, it's, people are pro choice. They're not, nobody is excited to get an abortion. Getting an abortion is a traumatic experience. And, here's another thing I'll tell you. Everybody, you get to be a certain age, you start to realize, well, maybe you don't start to realize. Maybe this is why I'm telling you. Everybody knows a whole bunch of people who had abortions. Everybody does. You don't know that you do because it's not something that they talk about. It is a secret that America's women have been keeping. I mean, there are women who are anti-choice, right? Pro-life. There are pro-life women out there who have had abortions, and because it was something that they needed to do and they made the choice in their moment. I mean, I know a lot of women. I know a number of women who have had abortions who nobody knows. No, but well, I mean, obviously I do, but because I'm the kind of guy that they tell these things to. No, but just through life experience, like you learn about this stuff. I know a man who I knew back in college who had an abortion with his girlfriend, and it was a tough thing. I remember when they were going through, and now this man is like in his 50s and he's very pro-life. I just think, but you had an abortion. When you were like 22 years old, you didn't want to marry that girl and you had an abortion. And now you're like, no one should have abortion. He's a radio guy. He was a dude I was in college with. So, I mean, what an ugly, I just hate this issue. Moderna is trending. Moderna is trending because Moderna has now asked the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, to approve vaccinations for children under the age of 6 years old. Moderna is now officially asking for approval to vaccinate the under 6 crowd. Correspondence dinner is trending. Oh, God, I hate this. The press club, the Washington Press Club, it's all of the elitist journalists, and this is the night they all get together and pat each other on the back for just being awesome and so much smarter than everybody else, and they tell jokes. I hate this thing. I used to love this thing years ago. I used to watch it. It used to be funny, and it was, but now it's just, there's nothing funny about politics anymore. There's nothing funny about lampooning the media. And this is so stupid. This is such a dumb thing. They need to get rid of the correspondence dinner. Nobody wants to have anything to do with it. It's very much like the Oscars. In fact, they call it the DC Oscars. It's very much like the Oscars. It's just a bunch of people, a bunch of entitled, a bunch of fancy sophisticates patting each other on the back for a night. And we're gonna put it on TV so nobody wants to watch this shit. Nobody gives a crap about. Stop it. I just don't like it. I used to love it. But also, I used to like shows like The Daily Show. I used to like political humor. Not anymore. Not anymore. I do not want to hear it anymore. I'm like, okay, shut up. First of all, you're preaching to the choir. You're telling these jokes to a bunch of people. You need to shut up. Stop joking about this crap. Countries at each other's throats. Be serious now. NFL draft is trending. Woo boy. The NFL draft takes place April the 28th through the 30th, 2022 at the Link Promenade in Las Vegas, Nevada. Actually, it's in Paradise, Nevada, but it's on the Las Vegas Strip in Nevada. Picking order for tonight's draft. The Jacksonville Jaguars are the first pick. The Detroit Lions have the second pick. The Texans have the third pick. So 1, 2, 3 is Jags, Lions, Texans in tonight's NFL draft. Cowboys pick 24, and my Bears don't have a first round pick. But we got like 2 second-round picks, and we got like 3 third-round picks. We're not fine. I try to justify that we're fine. Well, I don't know what we're going to do. Are we going to trade up into the first round? Maybe. Do we need to? Yes, we need to. We're in a total rebuild. We are in a teardown. We are rebuilding around the guy we traded up to get last year. So, we can expect 4 wins at best this year. I mean, we need picks. It is believed that really it's coming down to 2 people, either Aiden Hutchinson, a couple of edge guys, Aiden Hutchinson, defensive end out of Michigan, or Georgia's Trayvon Walker are expected to be the first 2 picks. I believe here is going to be my prediction, going a little meatball on you. I believe that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to take Georgia's Trayvon Walker, number 1, and then the Detroit Lions will take the hometown University of Michigan defensive end Aiden Hutchinson at 2. No idea what the Texans are going to do at 3. No idea. Today, Texans have a quarterback. Who they got? They get somebody? They didn't get anybody, right? They get Baker Mayfield still out there floating around. Who knows who's going to happen with that? Could see some draft night movement on that, but nobody wants Baker Mayfield. Isn't that weird? That is, boy, I bet you Progressive, the insurance company, they feel really weird because Progressive decided that Baker Mayfield was going to be a superstar quarterback, and they made him their Aaron Rodgers. State Farm has Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Progressive went all in on Baker Mayfield. Remember the At Home with Baker Mayfield campaign, where it was in theory he lived at the Brown Stadium. And, he'd go to the concession stand in the morning in a bathrobe with a cup of coffee, it's that kind of thing. It ain't going to work this year. It ain't going to work if he's out of work. Although he's not out of work. Baker Mayfield is still a member of the Cleveland Browns, unless something has changed in the last 24 hours that missed me. He's still a member. He doesn't want to be a member. They're trying to trade him. They asked initially for like a couple of first-round picks, and everybody in the league went, you kidding me? You're not going to get a 4 or 5 for Baker Mayfield, which I think is crazy because I think Baker Mayfield. I don't know. Jury's still out on him. Some people say the jury has returned a verdict, but I think that he's still young enough and he still has some basic skill sets. He's flashed, as they say in the parlance of the NFL analysis world. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. But that's happening tonight, the NFL draft. And again, I can't watch because my team isn't picking till day 2, unless we trade up. So I have to watch. You have to watch. The Bears are notorious for making moves on the first day. You need to watch. I actually do need to watch. But they're not going to trade future draft picks again because the reason that we don't have a first-round pick this year is because we did that last year. And if we do that again, we're just going to be rolling a rock up. Oh, stop. Don't break down the Chicago Bears to a primarily Texas audience. I won't. Cowboys pick 24. We'll focus on that one. Free sex. Free sex is trending. That's right. Free sex is trending because a Las Vegas sex worker says that she's going to give free sex to whoever goes number 1 in the draft. Wee. Sex worker offering free sex to the first pick. It's the least I can do, she says. A sex worker in Nevada is legal there, so she can do this legally. A sex worker in Nevada tells TMZ Sports that she is so grateful for the revenue that the NFL draft has brought her this month. Apparently all the prostitutes are busy. She's so happy for all the revenue that the NFL has brought her this month. She wants to give Thursday's number 1 overall pick a free sex romp. Roxanne Price, a 27-year-old licensed sex worker, tells us that the Las Vegas escorts have taken a hit during the COVID pandemic. But with the NFL draft coming to town this week, big money is finally starting to come back to the industry. And Price wants to thank the NFL for it all, specifically by giving the draft's number 1 overall pick this week top-notch service at the Chicken Ranch brothel just outside Las Vegas. 100% free. She should be offering this to Roger Goodell. She shouldn't be. The number 1 pick had nothing to do with the draft coming to Las Vegas. This is, she's, you know what? I'm the number 1 pick. I'm like, I pass. Roxanne, with all due respect, okay, the number one pick in the NFL draft is going to have the pick of the litter. The minute he's drafted in Vegas, he is going to have the pick of non-skeevy, non-professionals. He's going to have his hotel lobby filled with women. He'll be able to pick and choose. So this is nice of you to offer, but I think that probably they're going to pass. Roxanne, the 2017 Lover of the Year winner. Congratulations to you for that totally made up title. Tells us her offer comes with a complimentary limo service and a promise to cater to his fantasies. Again, Roxanne, I don't think you understand about the sexual options that are available to a number one pick in the NFL draft. This is not special. And if the number one pick doesn't have time this weekend, Roxanne tells us that he can schedule it for a future date. Again, Roxanne, he doesn't need to fly specifically back to Las Vegas to have free sex with some questionable lady. He's got plenty of questionable ladies to choose from. Whoever he is, whether it's Aiden Hutchinson or Trayvon Walker, they are going to be fine. So what happens after the draft in Vegas stays in Vegas is the final line of the story. And there you go. I mean, that's just like, ugh. And by the way, that's also something that the number one pick in the draft, staring at all of the Madison Avenue advertising opportunities, wants to be publicly known for. Hey, what's the first thing you're doing after you've just been the number one pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars? I'm going to have sex with a prostitute at the Chicken Ranch. Okay. No State Farm commercials for you. That is not gonna be in your best interest. Johnny Manziel is trending today. Why is Johnny Manziel trending? Well, for a very funny reason, because somebody went and pulled tape and edited it together of the draft when Johnny Manziel was in the draft, and no other an authority on quarterbacks than John Gruden basically pitched for Johnny Manziel the entire draft night. So let's watch this. Now, as we know, Johnny Manziel, legendary NFL bust, wasn't very good. As we also know, John Gruden fancies himself as a quarterback expert. Here is John Gruden embarrassing himself through the lens of history on draft night 2016.
George Bush went to Manziel's pro day. I didn't see the former president at your pro day. Johnny Football will bring buzz to Houston, and that buzz is good. There'll be a lot of excitement. I'll buy 2 tickets if he goes to Houston.
You can't overdraft. I mean, you would be overdrafting a quarterback.
I don't feel like I'm overdrafted.
Is he number one?
I'm a quarterback coach. This is what I want to mold for my future in the modern day.
He's got to be number one on your board.
Right.
He's got to be number one.
He's number one. I'd love to see him take Johnny Manziel and put him in the black hole. It just seems like a perfect launching pad for the former Texas A&M QB, but with the Raiders, you never know. When he's off the ball in a stacked position, he doesn't look like he's the same football player. I'm anxious to see what the Raiders do with Khalil Mack. I'm still shocked they didn't take a quarterback here, particularly Johnny Manziel. Everybody must know something that I don't.
The Raiders should have taken Manziel over Mack.
Others won't have a problem with
they're not looking at your board. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers need a trigger, a young trigger. Why not, Mel? Why not go 2 spots ahead of where you have him on your big board? Well, I'm going to continue to fight for Manziel. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a quarterback. I had Manziel going a long time ago. I'm getting tired of saying his name. And Jerry Jones, he likes filling that big stadium. And I know he was at that Cotton Bowl where Johnny Football showed up and ran all over the place against Oklahoma.
Oh, and you know what else? All right, we can stop. He just goes on and on and on. We can stop it because I remember back then, and I know a lot of Cowboy fans who also wanted Johnny Manziel. So, what are you going to do? Gruden. These guys, I love the draft, and you can go on YouTube and you can find all kinds of like footage from past drafts where guys just completely shit the bed. Sorry, Amber Hearded the bed when it comes to their picks and who they were championing and all of that kind of stuff. The Jamarcus Russell talk is really great if you want to see something funny. These guys, you're going to watch these guys tonight on the NFL draft. And they are so confident in what they're saying. It's just like, it's total arrogance, ignorance, and confidence coming together in just a bouillabaisse of bullshit. That's these people. And you're watching it, and they're so convincing because you're like, well, that's John Gruden. I'm sitting on my couch drinking a beer watching this. John Gruden, obviously. No, they don't. No, they don't. It's all just a crapshoot. It's all just a guessing game. And every single freaking year, there will be some dude taken in the 5th round who everybody passed on who will eventually make it to the NFL Hall of Fame. Every year, there is an undrafted free agent who starts during week 1, and everybody's going, where did he come from? The whole scouting business, and obviously baseball is my primary sport. Baseball scouts are full of nonsense. Football prognosticators are full of nonsense. It's all just happenstance. It's all just, look, these are all tremendous athletes. There's no way that you can tell me what's going to happen 3 years down the line with some 19, 20-year-old kid. Anyway, the NFL draft is tonight. It's going to be fun. That's why Johnny Manziel is trending, because John Gruden made an ass of himself and somebody found it. ESPN is also trending. Why is ESPN trending? Well, because they're being sued by Sage Steele. Hubbala. Sage Steele. She was, for years, she was like their primary NBA female anchor. She's a beautiful woman. She's like tall, thin. Ooh, beautiful. But Sage Steele is suing the network that she works for, and it's going to be weird because they're going to have to leave her on the air. She's still on the air. She is suing the network. Here, I'll read it to you. ESPN broadcaster Sage Steele on Thursday sued her employer, claiming the company violated her right to free speech when they, quote, sidelined her for making controversial comments on a podcast. Steele made the comments blasting ESPN's COVID-19 vaccination policy and questioned former President Barack Obama's racial identity in a September 29th episode of The Uncut with Jay Cutler. During the podcast, Steele, who said she had just been vaccinated, referred to her company's vaccination mandate as, quote, sick. ESPN is co-owned by the Walt Disney Company. Steele also accused former The View host Barbara Walters of belittling her for identifying as biracial. Sage Steele identifies as biracial. Here's a quote now from Sage Steele. She's like, well, what happens when you fill out your census? Steele said. If they make you choose a race, she's like, what are you going to put? I go, well, and this is Sage Steele speaking, I put both. Barack Obama chose black, and he's biracial, Steele said. Walters responded. And I'm like, well, congratulations to the president. That's his thing. I think that's fascinating considering his black dad was nowhere to be found, but his white mom and grandma raised him. But hey, you do you, I'm going to do me. Also in the podcast, Steele said, women who wear provocative clothing in the workplace bear a responsibility for sexism aimed towards them. Sounds like Sage Steele is hoping that the Fox News channel starts a sports network. It's because she fit right in. I like her, though. I always thought she was good on air. When you dress like that, I'm not saying you deserve the gross comments, but you know what you're doing when you put that outfit on, too. All right, hold on. Let me break this down. Also in the podcast, Steele said that women who wear provocative clothing in the workplace bear a responsibility for sexism aimed towards them. Let me think that through. I've thought it through, and I'm not comfortable sharing what a conclusion I've come to. When you dress like that, and this is Sage Steele speaking, when you dress like that, I'm not saying you deserve the gross comments, but you know what you're doing when you put that outfit on, she said. We need to be responsible as women, too. We know what we're doing when we put certain things on. I gotta be honest. If she got in trouble for saying any of those things, you can't call yourself a free speech advocate if you think that she should be penalized for any of those comments. You, me, or anybody else, we may not agree with those comments, but she is perfectly in the right to express those. Those are Those are not insanely provocative comments. Again, you can disagree with them, but she was taken off her primetime basketball thing. She did suffer a little bit. They didn't like what she said. Again, you don't have to agree. You do have to fight for her right to be disagreeable. That's all. That's what America is all about. That's what the First Amendment is all about. Steele's lawsuit said that following her comments on the podcast, media coverage erupted. Of course they did, because media coverage nowadays is considered social media, the woke mob. In a knee-jerk reaction, ESPN and Disney relied on the misleading characterizations of her comments, bowed to groupthink, and forced Steele to publicly apologize, and then suspended her for a period of time in October of 2021, it says in the suit. ESPN denied ever suspending Steele. Here's a quote now from ESPN. Sage remains a valued contributor on some of ESPN's highest profile content, including the recent Masters telecast. I'll go no further, but there's some irony there. Including the recent Masters telecast and anchoring our noon Sports Center, said a statement from the company. As a point of fact, she was never suspended, ESPN claims. Steele's suit said ESPN told her she would be sidelined or, quote, taking a break, which it said were euphemisms for suspended. It also said ESPN never corrected media reports that Steele had been suspended. Okay. So there you go. Sage Steele is probably on ESPN right now. If you turned it on, she's probably anchoring the afternoon news, whatever they call it. I don't know, Sports Center. But she's suing them. It's got to be awkward around the water cooler. I'm just saying. Russian dolphins. We got a story here about Russian dolphins. You know why? Because Russia has deployed trained dolphins to guard the Black Sea naval base at Sevastopol. Satellite images reveal dolphin pens being moved into place. So, evil dolphins. So, I always thought dolphins were nice. These dolphins are on the wrong side of history. Somebody should explain it to them. What they do is, and I don't know how this works, but okay, so in this case, it would be like Ukrainian divers or Ukrainian U-boats or whatever they even call them, U-boats anymore. I don't know. Ukrainian divers will try to plant explosives in the harbor there, and so they have dolphins that patrol. I mean, I always think that dolphins are like dogs. What do dolphins eat? I mean, couldn't the divers just have like a bag of fish, a bag of mackerel, and then just like when the dolphin comes to like, hey, get out of here, you just like, here you go, and just throw the fish in the other direction and the dolphin will swim away. I don't know. But there you go. Russian dolphins. That can't work, right? I mean, it maybe in theory, like maybe if there's like 100 dolphins, like maybe 2 or 3 might do the job, but that can't work. There's no way. Ooh, here's a provocative. Yeah, right. What was that? Austin Powers, Jeff? Dolphins with friggin' lasers. Here's a provocative one. Ooh, boy. Oh man, menthol. Menthol is trending. Menthol cigarettes are trending. That's right. The Biden administration is looking to ban the sale of menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars. They want to ban. Whoa, the black dudes are going to be upset about that. That's racist. Is it? Is it racist for me to say that banning menthol cigarettes is going to really upset black dudes because all black dudes who smoke almost exclusively smoke menthol? Is that racist? I'll wait. You know what? I think this is one for me and Adam Reyna. Adam Reyna, is it racist that I believe that the ban of menthol cigarettes is going to affect black people and black dudes? It's going to piss them off. Is it racist for me to say that only black dudes smoke menthol cigarettes? I'll wait. But I won't wait all day because I'm laying a trap for you. Okay. No, it's not racist. It is specifically being done because black people smoke menthol. It is specifically being done. The NAACP is behind this because black communities, they feel, are unfairly targeted by tobacco companies with menthol flavored cigarettes or whatever it is. It's not racist. It's not stereotypical. 85% of menthol cigarettes that are sold in the United States are 85% are sold to black people in black communities. The whole purpose of this thing, the NAACP went to Biden and said, please ban it because it's disproportionately affecting the black community. We need now. If you smoke menthol cigarettes, you're not going to be happy about this. You're going to be like, what? The NAACP is trying to ban. This is crazy. Here's the story. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is expected to announce a proposed rule this week to ban menthol cigarettes, as well as to ban flavored cigars. Yeah. Swisher Sweets. It's a step that public health officials say is essential to protect public health. I'm really excited about the possibility at our foundation. We've cared about issues of smoking and preventable deaths for so long, said Dr. Richard Besser, a former director of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, who now serves as the president of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, a public health advocacy organization. To see an issue that disproportionately affects African American smokers, disproportionately affects African American women, and disproportionately affects the African American LGBT people who smoke, lower income individuals, to say that these lives count just as much as any other life and a preventable death that gives. Okay, so that's the whole point of this. The entire point of this banning menthol is to take the menthol cigarette, the Cools, the Newports. I mean, that's who buys cool cigarettes. White dudes don't smoke cool cigarettes. Okay, I'm sorry, maybe 15%, because 85% is sold to black people. They buy 85% of menthol cigarettes. Let's see. The cigarette of choice, nearly 85% of smokers who are black smoke menthol. About 40% of women smoke menthol, compared with only 31% of men, according to the FDA. LGBTQ people are also significantly more likely to smoke menthol. A 2013 study that this seems, if people, isn't it just a flavor? So if this is the flavor that you prefer, what, they're going to stop smoking? So because they can't get menthol cigarettes anymore, they're just going to quit smoking because their nicotine addiction is just going to go away? No, they're just going to move on to something. They're going to get their nicotine addiction somehow. This is stupid. This is dumb. So stupid. And of course, the tobacco companies are really pissed. They're like, it's the flavor. It's just the flavor that we can't help it. Ban all cigarettes. Just ban all cigarettes. Now, why do you have to make this? Why do you have to nanny coddle the black community? We're stepping in because you people can't make good choices, so we're going to make it more difficult. Now, you're probably not going to quit smoking. You're just going to move over to a different brand, and you'll get used to it. But we'll feel good. We'll pat ourselves on the back because we've nanny coddled you. We feel good. We feel like we're making real progressive change. God, it's moronic. The nicotine addiction isn't going to go away. They're going to just smoke something else. And they're going to be pissed about it because the first 20 packs of whatever it is that they move over to is not going to taste good. They're going to be really miserable, but they're going to get their nicotine and they're going to move on with their lives. And you people will have accomplished nothing. Absolutely nothing. All right. Also, here's another one. Oh boy, maybe I'm not the guy to be doing this, but I did pull this up. Black people rules. Woo, that doesn't sound good, right? Black people rules are trending. Now, this is trending on Black Twitter. So this isn't like, I'm going to tell you some rules for black people. It ain't like that. It ain't. This is a compilation. Black people rules is trending. Hashtag Black people rules. Actually, is that it? rules for black. I don't know. There's a couple of different trends here. Black people are sharing the unwritten rules they follow that most white people are clueless about, and it's eye-opening. All right, a little bit of editorial choice there at the end. Is it eye-opening? Let's see, because let's see what some of these rules are. All right, so these are things that black people. These are rules that black people know that they follow. They're unwritten, but they are rules that they follow in their everyday life that white people have absolutely no idea is going on. Number one, no matter how angry you get, you have to try and remain calm. If you raise your voice even a little, regardless of what you say or how you say it, you are instantly labeled an angry black or angry white person, or angry black woman or angry black man, sorry, and judged wrongly, even though you may be right. Okay, I don't know. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. I had a lot of arguments with black dudes. They didn't seem to, not. I don't know. Number two, our mothers always teach us to always ask for a bag and a receipt, no matter how small the purpose. All right, now this is because this is interesting because I don't teach my kid. People, do you want the receipt? I'm a white guy, I'm a middle-aged white guy. Do you want the receipt? Nah, don't worry about it. Especially if I'm like buying a pack of gum. But I guess black people are always worried that they're going to be accused of stealing. So parents teach black kids to always get a receipt and always get a bag. 3. This is a black woman speaking. As a black woman in a predominantly white area, I make a point of approaching staff first whenever I walk into stores. I ask an innocuous question in a friendly, high-pitched voice, even if I don't need anything. They seem to feel safer around me and do not follow me around when I do that first. I was in... I had an experience with this. My buddy, one of my mentors, one of the people that I owe my entire career to, a guy named Doc. He was a producer with me in my earliest days in radio. Doc was a black dude. Doc and I went Christmas shopping at Water Tower Place in Chicago at Marshall Fields one time after the show. We ran over to Marshall Fields, and he said, he goes, watch. He goes, don't walk in with me. He goes, just walk in separately, and then watch what security does to me. And they did. The he got shadowed by security. He had money. He was a radio personality with, some swag in the town. He was a fairly known personality, although on radio, so you don't recognize him. And he dressed kind of hip hop, ball cap and, baggy blue jeans and all that. And he got followed. And it was like, my stupid Lily White. I'm just like, holy cow, there's one security. There's another security guy everywhere he goes. It's crazy. So, I witnessed that firsthand. I also flew with two dudes who were Pakistani, two buddies of mine here in Dallas. We went to Chicago on a weekend trip, and they came with me, Zayn and Ali, and we flew through an airport with them. And I got to watch that. They were like, okay, so you guys don't know what this is like, but we're going on post 9/11, and you're with two 20-something, very large. They were both bouncers at local clubs here in town. Very large Pakistani dudes. You might see some shit. And they were like, I'm like, what do you mean? You get? He's like, you know what? I probably won't even talk to you. I'll just be quiet the whole time. I don't want to raise any. And it was so funny the way they had to act. People do treat people differently. Black people rule number 4. I usually keep my college jacket in the car. If I have to go to the emergency room, I believe that I receive better treatment if doctors see that I have a higher education. I think that one's kind of nonsense. Here's one. I'm from Louisiana, where they still have sundown towns. Avoid them at all costs. But if you have to pass through at night, make sure you have a full tank of gas so that you don't have to stop. Well, that's interesting. I always make sure I have enough gas to go wherever I want anyway. But yeah, I would never be afraid to stop in a town. Let's see here. This one's 6. I am a black woman. Relatively new to my mostly white neighborhood. When I take a walk for exercise, I always walk in the middle of the street, not too close to houses on either side. I wear reflective gear and avoid staring too closely at any of the houses. I often think of Ahmaud Arbery while I walk. Okay, that's unfortunate. 7, I was taught to be an overachiever because no one expects a black person to be smart and well-spoken. I'm not expected to have a voice in anything, and many are shocked when I do. They are astounded when I can verbalize my thoughts and opinions in multisyllable words. Melanin and or ovaries do not cancel out intelligence and reason. Okay, here's another one. As a black man, my father taught me when being pulled over by the police to pull your insurance and registration out of the glove box and keep it ready on your seat. That way, you do not have to reach into the glove box when the police officer is standing at your window. I've heard that one before. 9, rules for black people that white people don't know. Never ever put your hands in your pockets while walking around a store. If you don't want to give them a reason to follow you around or call the police, your hands need to be visible at all times. And number 10 here. There's a whole bunch. We'll just stop at 10. As a black man, never get into an elevator with a woman alone. Always wait for the next one. Look, I don't have any comment on that. I mean, I can't. That seems so crazy to me, but I'm not a black man. So, there's a history of, black men being lynched for lesser offenses than riding in elevators with a white woman alone. All right, let's move on. That was depressing. It is trending, though, so there we are. Fast Outdoor Food says, I'm afraid to stop in Gary, Indiana. You and me both, man. Man, I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and I'm afraid to stop in Gary, Indiana. Whoo! Although here's why I stop in Gary, Indiana. And I did it once, and I won't do it again. Michael Jackson's house. That's why. That's the, it's Michael Jackson's house. My kid liked Michael Jackson. He was probably 10 years old. We were at the Indiana Dunes, so as we're driving back home, leaving the Indiana Dunes, you have to pass through, the expressway runs right through Gary, Indiana. So we're driving through Gary, Indiana, and I thought, oh, you know what? I'm gonna take my kid to Michael Jackson's house. I'm gonna let him see Michael Jackson's house in Gary. And so we get off the exit, and oh man, it is like the Griswolds. Remember when the Griswolds exited? Roll them up and lock it. And then we get into the street with Jackson Avenue, which and by the way, fun fact, the Jackson house, which is now like a museum, it's been preserved, exactly like it was when the Jackson family lived there. It's on Jackson Avenue. It wasn't named for the Jacksons. That is just coincidence. It was Jackson before they were the Jacksons. Well, they were the Jacksons, but before they were the Jacksons, it was already Jackson Avenue, and they lived right there. And we drove by Michael's house. We even got out, and there were some nice people. There's always, it's kind of like Graceland. There's always like some Michael Jackson fans or Janet Jackson fans or whatever. Probably not as many Tito Jackson, Randy Jackson fans, but you know what I'm saying? So we got out, and there's a big board, and people signed the board. My kid signed the board. My kid took a picture, and then we got in the car and got the hell out of there. Because although the little area immediately surrounding Michael Jackson's Gary, Indiana home is fairly safe because the police patrol it a lot because it's believe it or not, it's an international tourist destination. People come from all over the world. So it is probably the safest corner in Gary, Indiana. And even when we were there was a cop just sitting across the street. So we weren't that worried, but once you get out of the Jackson's neighborhood, by the way, they had like 10 kids. Tiny house. It's probably a 800 square foot house. They had like 10 kids. And if you watch the Janet Jackson, there was recently a documentary about Janet Jackson that was out. I think it was like a 4-parter on like A&E or something. It's very good. But if you watch that, they take you inside the house and you go, oh my God, like 5 kids slept in one bed in a pull-out sofa in the living room. Oh my God. Woo. They really came from nothing. All right, what else is trending here? Marsquake. Marsquake. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? There was a Marsquake on Mars. What's a Marsquake? Well, a Marsquake is an earthquake that occurs on Mars. NASA Marsquakes hunting lander has detected its two largest seismic events to date, both occurring on the far side of the planet. So I thought that was fun. Marsquake. Marsquake. I mean, I guess I wouldn't have really thought about it that way. If I was on Mars and it started to shake because of my background, I'd probably go, whoa, is that an earthquake? And then I'd go, oh, yeah, I guess it is. I guess it's a Marsquake. Coke is trending. Coca-Cola is trending. Oh, this is so stupid. Does Coca-Cola not learn anything from like the whole new Coke? There is a new version of Coca-Cola coming out. It's going to be released in the next couple of weeks. It is called Coke Bite. Coke Bite is spelled B-Y-T-E. Here, let me read you what this nonsense is all about. Oh, it's modern Coca-Cola. Well, what does it taste like? Tastes like Coca-Cola. So what's the difference? It's different packaging, cooler name. That's it? Yeah, that's basically it. Coca-Cola Bite coming next week. Here's what Coke's new Pixel drink tastes like. All right, I gotta show you this. All right, you gotta see what this looks like. Pretty cool packaging, I guess. I mean, modern, certainly. The can looks like a video game. Here we go. All right, there you go. It's by the way, I must applaud Coca-Cola in their Coke Zero. Coke Zero is fantastic. There you go. That's what the new can of Coke Bite is going to taste like or look like. And it's being described as it tastes like pixels. What the fuck? Pixel. I can't taste sound, you know? I can't hear flavor. You know, what do you mean it tastes like pixels? No idea. Coca-Cola's brand new flavor will be available in less than a week, and it's nothing like the Starlight Space flavored Coke that was released in February. I don't know about that. Did you know about that? Starlight flavored Coke? Let's see here. Jeff says an 800 square foot house for 10 people breaks down to $7 per person. That's tight, yo. Yeah, and are you including sinks, toilets, refrigerators, stoves, tables? Are you including all of that? Because those things take up space too. So it's probably even tighter. Go online. Just go online. Google search Michael Jackson's house, Gary, Indiana. You'll see it. It's tiny. It is tiny. Let's see. I don't remember Starlight Space flavored Coke that was released in February. Apparently that didn't go over too well. It's called Coca-Cola Zero Sugar Bite, B-Y-T-E. And according to the giant soda, it tastes like pixels. Let's see. The company says it's the first Coca-Cola flavor born in the metaverse. Oh, stop it. It wasn't born in the metaverse. It was born in a laboratory in Atlanta. Stop it. And that it's being hidden in plain sight. An early look at the beverage appeared in a new island created in the Fortnite game. Oh, geez. I'm really leaning hard into this whole thing. I mean, why not? Everything is video games. This entire generation, TV doesn't exist. My kid doesn't watch any TV. He plays video games. Why would he want to sit and watch TV all day after school? Oh, see, is this maybe it's a political call? Nah, spam. Why would he want to sit and watch TV when he can, he can fight a battle in World War II that looks real? That looks like he's really, Coca-Cola said it'll release more limited edition beverages later this year, but the company expects Bite to be the drop of the season. Here's what you need to know about the new Coca-Cola Bite. All right, so apparently this person, this is from CNET. They took a taste test. It says here, I received a tall, slender can of Coca-Cola's new Bite Coke, and upon opening it, it had quite a loud fizz, much more carbonation than the regular Coke. This one has a brown hue like regular Coke Zero, so it looks like Coke Zero. I expected it to be purple, he says. And it also has a very sweet smell that is nothing like regular Coke products. So the smell, so they're working all the senses there. When I took a sip of the Coke Bite, the fizziness was so strong that it reminded me of when I would eat Pop Rocks as a kid. So that's got to be like the extra carbonation. Like it's way more fizzy. Fizziness was so strong that it reminded me of when I used to eat Pop Rocks as a kid. Maybe that's what Pixels taste like, he thinks. The flavor was soft, but still tasted just like a Coke Zero. I could taste the sweetener used to replace it, believed to be Splenda. All right, so there you go. So it tastes exactly like Coca-Cola or Coke Zero. Smells sweeter. There's a more sweet aroma when you open it. You're hit with something that you're not hit with regular Coke, and it's way more carbonated. So it's like so it's way more fizzy. But when push comes to shove, it's Coke Zero. It tastes just like Coke Zero. So there you go. That's why Coke Bite is trending. Here's a story that we covered yesterday. It's still trending today, so we may as well get into it. Jason and Olivia. Now, look, there's Olivia Wilde is trending. Jason Sudeikis is trending. Ted Lasso is trending. Harry Styles is trending. All of these people are trending for the exact same reason, and that reason is, here's the backstory. Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde were a couple for a number of years. They have two absolutely adorable children together. During the pandemic, Jason Sudeikis, he put his career on hold. He used that time to write Ted Lasso, which really kind of paid off for him because it's the biggest project he's ever been involved in. He decided that he would stay at home with the kids, and Olivia could go out and practice her directing chops. Olivia decided she's directed a couple of things. Olivia Wilde has had a couple of critically acclaimed projects that she's directed, and now she got an opportunity here to do a movie that would take her, I don't know, far away from the family. So Sudeikis said, you know what, I got this idea for a soccer coach, and I think I'm going to do it, so I'll stay with the kids. You go off and do your thing. Olivia Wilde goes off, casts Harry Styles, like a 19-year-old boy bander, to be in the movie, and immediately starts sleeping with him. All right, so Olivia Wilde is out there being wild, and now she's been in a relationship with Harry Styles for quite some time. Now this relationship will end when the movie comes out because that's how these things happen. But she's having some fun. She's a beautiful woman. She's aging. She's now in her 40s, so she's not the gorgeous 26-year-old supermodel that she was when she first broke onto the scene. So being with a young boy toy probably makes her feel good, and she's whatever. But she left Ted Lasso at home, and she embarrassed him. She completely, here he is, taking care of the kids, allowing her the freedom to go spread her artistic wings. And how does she pay him back? She starts banging the 19-year-old boy bander. Bitch. All right. By the way, this whole experience produced a wonderful subplot in the first season and into the second season of Ted Lasso, where Ted Lasso is heartbroken by the divorce that he's going through. So, for that, thank you, Olivia. I guess you inspired some of the most moving moments in season 1 of Ted Lasso. You really made that character less of a buffoon and more of a well-rounded and identifiable dude. So Olivia and Jason have split up, but they got 2 kids together, so they got to have some kind of it seems like the relationship between the two is kind of difficult because Jason has been trying to serve Olivia with custody papers for 6 months. And Olivia has been dodging these custody papers. So the new movie, which is called, what's the new movie called? I don't even care. But the new movie was being presented at Cinecon, which is a big film industry convention. She was on stage in front of 4,000 industry people. She's trying to sell the movie. By the way, it was picked up. She sold it. So Olivia Wilde having her big moment on stage as a director in front of 4,000 people at Cinecon the other night. She's getting ready to introduce her movie. She's got all of the stars of the movie behind her, including her 19-year-old boy band lover. He's there on stage. And as she's talking, somebody sneaks up to the front row of the stage and hands her a manila envelope. It was a process server. And it was how they finally nailed her. She had been dodging these custody papers for 6 months. and they knew she was going to be there. They knew she was going to be on stage. They knew that, there was no doubt that was Olivia Wilde, and that's really all custody server needs. You need to announce who you are, and there needs to be, you need to take the envelope, and that's what happened. So the process server snuck up to the front row, slid the manila envelope onto the stage, and slid it over to her. She stopped what she was doing. She looked at it, and she said, "What is this?" And he said, "It's for you." And she goes, "This is for me?" And she picked up the manila envelope, opened it up, pulled out the papers, saw that they were custody papers, put them back in the manila envelope, and then just went on like a pro. She Chris Rocked it. She was completely stunned by what had happened, but she muscled through like the pro that she is. And then people, of course, some people were like, that is legendary. Jason Sudeikis in her biggest moment, in her big moment as a director, the first major film that she's directed. She's up there in front of 4,000 witnesses, 4,000 industry executives who are on hand to either try and buy the rights or whatever for this new film that she's got. And he chooses that moment to give her the custody papers that she's been dodging for 6 months. I am Team Jason Sudeikis in this whole thing. Totally. And I used to love Olivia Wilde. Olivia Wilde used to be my number 1 or number 2 favorite Olivia. So, that she has definitely fallen off the charts as far as my favorite Olivias based on what she did to Jason Sudeikis. But I applaud Jason Sudeikis for this. You, sir, are a legend. That is a legendary move. Cut to this morning. That was the story as of last night. This morning, Jason Sudeikis is saying that he had no idea that was going to happen. He finds that to be incredibly disrespectful and inappropriate, and he's very upset with his legal team, and he's very upset with the process servers that were hired to do this, and he didn't know about it, and he apologizes to Olivia. He wants to remain whatever. He's got to say, of course he's going to do that. He's Ted Lasso. He's like the nicest guy on the planet. Of course he's going to, but I'm telling you, I love that move. So there you go. Horses out of the barn now. You've been served with the custody papers. You can't claim, you can't run from it, you can't pretend like it's not a thing. It is now a thing. And that is why Jason Sudeikis, Olivia Wilde, Frances Pugh, she's also in the movie, and Harry Styles are all trending. Ted Lasso is also trending because of it. I talked about this last night because I was going through the threads and I'm reading all of these different things. It is very rare that we are in a moment now where, if you include this one, there are 2 high-profile celebrity couples going through a very public end to their relationship. And in both cases, the masses seem to be on the side of the men. In the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation, everybody seems to be on the side of Johnny Depp. Everybody's like, wow, she is done. There is no way that she is going to win this. No jury is going to, because it's obvious that, Johnny Depp seems to be, he's a freak. He's Johnny Depp, but she seems to be really the troublemaker in this whole thing. And then we have this Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde thing. And go ahead, scroll through. Absolutely everybody is like, well, good for Jason, good for Ted Lasso, good for him. She ran off with a 90. One person said something. How did they word it? It's like, she dumped his ass for a 19-year-old boy toy, and in her biggest moment in front of the guy that she left him for, she gets served with custody papers. I'm like, that is very that is, but again, Jason Sudeikis, being the good dude that he is, he claims that he knew nothing about it. Here, we'll show them. We'll see what a lovely couple they were at some point here. Skip that. There you go. Cancel that. Skip it. There you go. Where are they at? Huh. Interesting. Hold on. Oh, there was a really nice family picture of them that I wanted in happier times that I wanted to share, but we won't. So that happy picture is gone now. All right. No biggie. We shall motor through. We have much more to talk about here. Like Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is trending. I don't care that Harry Styles is 28 years old. He's a little boy toy. Was he 19 when he first became famous? I don't know. I think of him as like a teenager. Jim Carrey is trending. Jim Carrey is trending because he is responding to some some Q people who were at the Trump rally, and some Q people believe that Joe Biden is dead, and that Joe Biden, when we see him on TV, that's really just Jim Carrey pretending to be Joe Biden. They also, for some inexplicable reason, believe that it's not only Jim Carrey portraying Biden in public, but also James Woods? Why do they think it's also James? Let's check these people out. And all I can tell you is that I am very happy that I have nothing in common with these people. Because these people's brains, they don't work. Their brains do not work right. All right, are we there? There we are. All right, let's watch this. Here you go. This is why Jim Carrey is trending. It says there, you think Biden is not alive right now.
Biden is not alive right now.
No, the guy that's doing the stand-up job of trying to wake people up is an actor wearing a mask. I mean, there's several different people playing Joe Biden at this point. And when he fell up the stairs going on the airplane, I myself think that was Jim Carrey. I've heard that he was one of them.
Wait. You think that Jim Carrey was wearing a mask and was the acting president?
And being silly by falling up the stairs 3 different times. And James Woods also, I think, is one of the doppelganger mask-wearing people.
You think Biden is not alive right now?
No, the guy that's doing the...
All right. There you go. That's America, ladies and gentlemen. Right there. Those people, they stand in line in front of us at the convenience store. They share the roads with us. Their kids sit next to our kids in school. They are out there. I have one question for you. Do you vote for the same people as them? Moving on, because I don't. I have nothing in common with those people. Nothing in common. Other than a love of bedazzled tank tops. That's pretty much the only thing that I have in common with those people. Oh, I want to go off on the rank stupidity. I want to go off on the mental illness that don't tell me that they're kidding. They're not kidding. Those people are not kidding. There is a disconnect. Those people, there's a lot of those people out there too. I don't look, man. I don't get the whole QAnon thing. I don't. Ugh. All right, moving on. Oh, God, I hate this. Kim K is trending. Why is Kim Kardashian trending? Kim Kardashian is trending because apparently on last night's edition of Hey, Let's All Gawk at This Family. Isn't that what the show's called? What is the show called on Hulu? It's back. It's on Hulu. Apparently Kanye. Kanye was on the show last night, and Kim K had a breakdown talking about the time that Kanye met with Ray J and got the computer that contains the hard drive that has the entirety of Kim K and Ray J sex tape. And Kim K, she was crying on her show last night because it's really important to her that they own that tape and that it can't get out anymore because she has children now and she doesn't want her children. The tape is out there. I can watch the Kim K sex tape right now if I want it. You can't just because people. I don't understand what this is about. Ozzy Osbourne is trending. Let's keep a good thought for Ozzy. Ozzy's got the Rona. And apparently he's not doing too well. He's sick. He's like sick. So sick, in fact, that Sharon Osbourne, who is, she got fired from that show, The Talk, recently, and then she got picked up. She's now on another talk show that shoots in London, some London like daytime, like The View. It's like The View, but it's in London. So Sharon was only there for 3 days on the new show, and she had to fly home to Ozzy emergency-wise because Ozzy has the Rona and Ozzy is sick and Sharon needs to be there. And she was tearfully on camera explaining how concerned she is. Now, I do not know. Here's what I don't know. I don't know if that is legitimate because, Sharon Osbourne likes to keep her name in the press and, why not try and milk this one? Maybe Ozzy's fine. Who knows? He is old. He has I assume, some pre-existing conditions. Ozzy, let's just keep a good thought for Ozzy because Sharon says that he's got the Rona. He is showing symptoms and that he is sick. And it's such a thing that she had to just immediately fly home from London to be with Ozzy, even though she was just 3 days into her new TV show and she's already missing. So there you go. Keep a good thought for Ozzy. He's got the Rona, according to Sharon. Galveston is trending. Galveston, Texas is trending. You know what Galveston is? Because of this. There was this story, and Galveston is the third most. Is it third? Let me see if we get this right. Here, we'll share. I'll show you the list. It's like the third most expensive place in America to rent a summer home. Navarre Beach, Florida is number one, the most expensive place in America. I don't know where Navarre Beach, Florida is. Most expensive place in America or most profitable. Yeah. Yes. So if you own property and you can rent them out, it's the most profitable cities to own rental properties. Navarre Beach, Florida is number one. New Buffalo, Michigan is number two. Daytona Beach is number 3, and then Galveston, Texas is number 4. That's pretty good. I've never been to Galveston, but that's why Galveston is trending. It's trending because a lot of people are like, Galveston? And I can't really respond with Galveston. I have to respond with just Galveston because I don't know. Is Galveston like not great? I don't know because people seem to be like, what? Galveston? Like, I guess I can understand Navarre Beach, Florida, because it's Florida. And like, there's a lot of really nice places in Florida. New Buffalo, Michigan, I totally get because I've spent many summers in New Buffalo, Michigan, and it is gorgeous. It's like all the New Buffalo, Michigan. You ever seen American Pie? Okay, Stifler's mom's beach house. Remember that's New Buffalo. That's either like New Buffalo or South End, but they're right next to each other. And they're like the rich vacation area for like Michigan. We're all like the wealthy people from, I don't know, I guess like Chicago billionaires all have homes and stuff. So I get that. Daytona Beach, Florida, I get that again because it's Florida. But then people are like, Galveston? Whereas I'm like, Galveston? I don't know. I don't have a question about it. Well, maybe some of you people know. Maybe some of you people own vacation rental property down there in Galveston. But it says it's pretty lucrative if you do, in fact, own there. Let's see. What do we have here? What else? Okay. Elon Musk is trending again. Elon Musk is trending for 2 reasons. One is because it's now... so he might not be buying Twitter now. Yesterday, it was just thrown out there that because of the stock situation and the immense slide that Tesla shares took, that it would possibly start to complicate things with him being able to come up with the liquid cash to be able to buy 21 billion, is what he was supposed to come up with. And then he lost I think he says something he's lost now like 35 billion in Tesla stock holdings. So maybe he's not going to buy Twitter now. I don't know. Some dude at the Wall Street Journal has come out and said that he's absolutely not, that there is no way that he can do this because the people who came in, he had a partner. He had I don't know if it was, I think it was American Express. That's why I keep saying it. American Express said, okay, you come up with 21 billion. We'll finance the rest for you. Apparently somebody at American Express has said, well, the recent changes in his Tesla stock has made us question whether or not we're going to go through with it. So that's why somebody in the Wall Street Journal is saying that he won't buy it. So there you go. So maybe Elon Musk is not going to end up buying Twitter. We shall see. But he's also trending because yesterday he was brought up in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, civil case, not a trial, it's a civil case. He was brought up in that because Johnny Depp claims that Amber Heard was cheating on him with Elon Musk, and her and Elon Musk had like a 1-year relationship, and Amber Heard basically testified that she was never in love with Elon Musk. He was just a space filler. She had just come out of the relationship with Johnny. And so there you go. So no love for Elon, and Elon Musk not possibly buying Twitter now are the reasons that he's trending today. No love for Elon was the headline. Okay, and here this could be the last one. This is the last one. Again, I really had to struggle today trying to find topics that we could talk to that weren't NFL draft related, because oh my God, everything was draft related. Every single team was trending, and I'm like, I'm not going to take a couple of minutes and talk about the draft prospects for the Atlanta Falcons, and then what? We move on to the Seattle Seahawks. I wasn't going to do that. So there's a lot of news that isn't being talked about today, and I can't find it anywhere because everybody seems to be pushing their favorite sports team. But Amanda Bynes is trending again. Now, Amanda Bynes, we've been following this. She is sort of like, she had a conservatorship, just like Britney, remember? And Amanda Bynes was a terrific comedic actress. Boy, did I think she had a future. Terrific comedic actress back in the mid-2000s. She was beautiful. She was funny. She actually received really good critical notices for her performances in films. And then, I think that there were drug issues. Like, she got into a lot of trouble with drugs and stuff like that. But we've come to find out that the big issue was that she has some brain chemistry issues. She's got some mental things that she deals with, and that her being a terrible drug addict who got in trouble a lot was probably just more due to the fact that she had these bipolar disorder and all this kind of things. So she had been in custodialship, right, just like Britney Spears, for a whole bunch of years, and she was finally freed. And if you recall, the last time we checked in on Amber Bynes, it was when she was let free of her custodialship. Her parents were all for it. Her parents were like, yes, we think she we're so impressed with the way she has turned her life around. We want her to be able to live as a free woman. She's going to college to be a fashion designer. She looks nothing at all like the Amber Bynes. Sorry, Amanda Bynes, called her Amber Bynes. She looked nothing at all like the old Amanda Bynes. She looks, I always say, she looks like Amanda Bynes if Amanda Bynes was raised in a trailer in Toledo. No, she doesn't. Amanda Bynes was a bombshell, beautiful, young, blonde starlet who was right in there with, the other beautiful young ladies of her time. I don't know, but she looks completely different now, and she's free, and she's doing it on her own. She doesn't, and oh boy, she's already gotten herself into some trouble. This poor girl. Okay, so here's the story. Amanda Bynes' fiance called police early Thursday morning after she accused him of doing crack cocaine. Police arrived at their home at 2:30 a.m. after Paul Michael told the dispatcher he and Amanda were embroiled in a verbal dispute. Paul told cops Amanda had been taking his Adderall and was out of control. He said she kicked him out of the house, but he stayed until the police arrived. Amanda went on Instagram early Thursday and said, quote, Paul told me that he stopped taking his medications. I looked at his phone and he was looking at mom and son porn. Ooh. Ooh. I understand that is a thing. Ha. Isn't that illegal? Isn't that illegal? Jeez. Man, that story took an ugly turn. Good Lord. Moving on. Amanda went on Instagram early Thursday and said, Paul told me that he stopped taking his medication. I looked at his phone and he was looking at that. He then vandalized his own mother's home. He broke all of her pictures and he put salmon under her bed. This is all the rantings of Amanda Bynes. She wasn't done, however. His behavior is alarming, and I'm afraid of what he'll do. She ended by saying she allegedly found Paul's stash of crack cocaine he's been using for the past 6 months, she claimed. He needs serious help, so I kicked him out of my house. Okay, so here's what's happening. He believes he's doing nothing wrong, and he just basically waited in the front yard for the police to come because he wanted to talk to them. He is saying she's spinning out of control. She's spinning out of control. And then she, for her part, is going on Instagram or whatever, saying all of these crazy things. Like, I don't know. Well, I don't know if they're crazy, but she saw basically, here we are. We're just about 3 weeks or so since she's been freed from her conservatorship, and Amanda Bynes seems to be acting a bit erratically already. So hopefully she will get her stuff together. Hopefully. Because I'm telling you, I liked her. I thought she was she seemed so sweet, and she seemed so nice, and she was funny, and she was good in interviews and stuff like that, and she was legitimately funny. There's a movie, was it She's the Man? She is legitimately funny in She's the Man. I mean, she's good. She carries that film. She's got like Lucy chops, like it's rare that a beautiful female is willing to, first of all, be the buffoonish funny one, but man, she was really great. All right, let's see here. That's all that I have prepared for you today as far as all of the trends and all the headlines and all that good stuff go. But let's see what's up. Let's see what's been happening since. All right, look, first, trending number 1, trade, because it's the NFL deadline. It's the NFL draft tonight. All right, what is this trade? Potential trade of Deebo Samuel to the Jets reportedly isn't dead yet. What are you talking about? San Francisco came out the other day and said there's no way in heck we're ever trading Deebo. We're gonna sign him to his 5th year. We're gonna make sure why would they do that? Why would they get rid of a weapon like that when they still got him on a deal? They can franchise him twice. I don't think they ain't trade. Nobody is trading Deebo. I'm sorry. You know why this is trending? Because Jet fans are in New York City. There's a whole lot of them, and they're all dreaming openly on social media. So it gets pushed up the ranks because it's New York City, and those people are. There is no way that the San Francisco 49ers are going to trade Deebo Samuel. They could theoretically have 3 more years of control with him. They do the 5th year option, and then they can franchise him twice. They ain't trading Deebo Samuels. They still feel like they're in a window. Oh God. Although it would be to a out of conference, out of division team. You can't get any further. The hell just happened? The hell just happened? Did you guys see that? All right, how we doing? Are we still trending? Or, are we still streaming? Because the whole computer system just went what app. It just kind of went crazy and down for a second. So if you're hearing me, somebody in the chat room, let me know. Let me know if you're still seeing this and hearing this. Make sure we're all right. All right. Anyway. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate you. NFL draft is trending number 1. Trade is trending. We just covered the trade. Sam Bruce, breaking, former Hurricane Sam Bruce has passed away. Okay, that seems pretty sad. I don't know who Sam Bruce is. Let's see here. $33 billion. They're asking for $33 billion more for Ukrainian aid. Don't know where that money's coming from. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing new trending. Nothing that I can see here. Let's see. What else we got? Okay. All right, guys. I guess that's about it. I guess Come on back and join us tonight for Pillow Talk. Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk. We're gonna. I don't know what we're gonna do today on Pillow Talk, but it's gonna be a weird Pillow Talk because I'm on babysitting duty. The people who run the big house, for those of you who don't know, I reside here in the palatial Comfort Nest guest house high above the 1%er compound in beautiful Highland Park, Texas. The man and woman of the house, they're going to go see Bon Jovi tonight. Boom, 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 boom. So that means Uncle Pugs, fun Uncle Pugs, is going to be babysitting. You want to know what babysitting Dom is going to be? Dom is going to sit in his game room, in his gamer chair, and he's going to play Red Dead Redemption for like 6 hours. I just have to like poke my head in every once in a while and go, everything cool? And he'll be like, everything's cool. And I'll be like, all right, Dom. That's pretty much going to be it. That's going to be, but at some point, so we're going to do the Pillow Talk show. I will be babysitting while we do the Pillow Talk show today. He may come in, he may, because Dom's a character. Dom may at some point during Pillow Talk knock on the door and I'll be like, come on in, Dom. And then he'll sit over here in the beanbag chair and probably watch me do my thing. Who knows? He'll probably get tired. I don't know. He's welcome to it. He's a funny kid. So I got to do that tonight on Pillow Talk. We had an idea earlier in the show. The idea earlier was for us to do a special Dark Side of Oz Pillow Talk show. I think we might do that. That might be fun, but we'd have to get the right mix of people. Like I want Kelly involved. I want James involved. I definitely want Schwartz involved. I don't know how many people we can get to do that, but Dark Side of Oz is where you take the Wizard of Oz and The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd and you sync them up and we just watch them. And we found on YouTube that there is a synced up version of it. So we could just all get together and we'll do a very special Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk, the Dark Side of Oz edition. We'll see how that goes. Tip the show, please. End of the month. Like I said, we are within, let me see where we are. We are about 150 short this month. So if we can get that over the next few days, we'll be fine. Well, we're going to be fine anyway. I mean, I'm going to do this show regardless, but it is the only way that we raise money to do this 2 streams every day, Monday through Friday, high noon right here, topics. And then we come back at 9 p.m. for Pillow Talk. That's Monday through Thursday. So if you can help out, tip me like I'm your bartender. Tip me like I'm your barista. Tip me like I'm your valet. I don't know. Who do you tip? I don't know who you tip. Everybody, right? You tip people at ball games. Tip me like stop it. Anyway, help out the show if you can. We are so close. We are so close this month, and the anxiety is killing me. All right, there you go. That's it. You guys put on some. Let's see if my son is taking over my Spotify. Is it 2:00 yet? 2:03. Let's see. He tends to at this time of the day. No. Oh, or did he? Did he just? Yep, he should. Oh my God, listen to what my cool ass kid is listening to. I'm telling you, my kid is 12 years old and listen to what he's playing right now. He's playing Daft Punk. My kid is 12 years old. He's into Daft Punk. I'm telling you, this is the payoff. This is the payoff to my years of taking a real interest in his cultural development. Daft Punk, a band from 40 years ago. I don't even want to interrupt him. I'm so proud of him for playing on his own, choosing to lift weights to Daft Punk. Yeah, we'll see. He's on acid. Yeah, he is. Little do I know. I imagine that he's. I'm told that he's in weightlifting class at 2:00. Yeah, Texas, they have weightlifting class, and he likes to listen to music. All right, so there you go. But really, he's just in like a janitor's broom closet, tripping hard on mushrooms. I'm proud of my little guy. That's very cool. All right. We're gonna leave you with this. We'll see ya. We'll be back tonight for Pillow Talk. Support the show if you can. I appreciate you. Love you. Be good to each other. What's he go? Oh, whoa! He went right into that's. He goes from Daft Punk into Metallica's Whiskey in the Jar. Oh no! Now he's decided he wants to listen to Daft Punk some more. This is kind of cool that I can monitor what he's listening to. This is fun. All right. Bye, folks. Be well. Have a good one. We'll get back here tonight at 9 o'clock Central Time for Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk.